so you can see, if you can see me. 1 second, we gotta flip the phone around. Can you see me?
Uh-huh.
And you can see what I'm chopping?
Uh-huh.
You sure?
Yes.
I need a sip of wine. Hi guys! Welcome to Knife Skills class. I'm Christy from SourPatchChef. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're not going stir crazy. I know I'm going a little stir crazy. So I'm going to show you some really quick, easy knife skills that help you be safe in the kitchen, and they can also help you go a little faster when you're prepping things, and maybe you won't mind prepping as much. So we are going to start first off with an onion. Onion people usually don't like to do because it makes them cry. That's kind of inevitable. There's an enzyme in onion that reacts with the water, the nearest source of water, whether it's your eye, your throat, your nose. It reacts with it and it makes it water. So you can also, this is wine, it's not water, but you need an alternate source of water. So if you have a wet paper towel nearby, you can put it here, you can put it in your mouth, and that helps. But the key is just to cut it well so that you're not bruising the onion as you're going. If you're just sitting there chopping it with a dull knife, you're gonna cry. So first thing you need to know is you have a hairy root. He's here, he's your friend, so don't cut him off. And you have a papery root. He's not your friend, so you're cutting him off. Okay, and then you say goodbye. So now you have a stable surface. So now you can cut your onion in half. Don't try to cut or peel your onion when it's like this because it's just rolling around. So now I have my stable surface. So I have one friend, and now I have two friends. Okay, and then this makes it easy to peel. You do want to peel that first layer because it's rubbery, so it's not going to cook as fast as the other layers. So it's okay to peel that first layer off. Hairy root's still there. Sometimes you'll peel him off, but you know he's still there. Now you have a stable surface to cut. We're gonna go for a small dice. So you're gonna take the tip of your knife, you go all along the curve of your onion. And so I'm going towards my friend, but I'm not cutting him. And I'm going straight down towards my board, never this way. The closer your cuts are together, the smaller your pieces will be. I even got a little sticky part. And so then this is why we like the hairy root. He holds everything together for us. So now, don't go this way. I know you're tempted to, but if your knife slips, you're gonna cut your hand, and you won't have very even cuts this way either. You're gonna use the layers of the onion to your benefit. So use your other hand, your opposite hand, to hunker down, get that anchor, and you're gonna get nice and close together. Cut all the way through to your hairy root. And then once you get to this point, it is not with your fingers. You can throw your friend away, but say thank you. Thanks. But this is how you get those nice dices without having to cut towards your hand. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to show you another way to cut an onion too. This will be for fajitas. So, I have this onion. So if you want nice julienne or strips of onion, what you're going to do is you are going to peel the first layer again. But this time we're breaking the rules because that's what I like to do. You're going to cut off your hairy root. You're going to put it cut side towards you. Tuck in these fingers. Go straight down. And as close together, like you're shaving it almost. Close together as possible. Go all the way to the center. When you get to the center, especially if you have one of those big Hunkin' Dunkin' onions that's up like this, you're gonna push the center towards your knife so you have more stability. And just keep tucking in your fingers. Like that. Then when you wanna scrape your pieces, you're gonna turn your knife over. Otherwise you dull your blade. So this is great for salads and for caramelized onions and for fajitas. So you have this strip is called a julienne. All right. Woo, trying. Okay. Next, we're gonna do my favorite vegetable to cut. I love this one because everybody cuts it different. So hopefully I'm gonna show you a way to make your life easier. My goal for this is to not get seeds everywhere, to not have to go back and cut the little white strips out. So first thing you do is you wash it, and then you're gonna cut the bottom off for a stable surface, so just a thin piece, like this. Don't throw it away, it's usable product. And then you're gonna curve, like you're almost like you're cutting the peel off of a cantaloupe or a watermelon. So you're gonna start here, use that stem as stability. So cut away from yourself, go down, and then you're curving back in like the bell pepper does. So it's this motion. So you keep curving, go here. So now you can see, I can see where all the seeds and the whites are. So I can avoid those. I can not cut so deeply so I don't have the whites. So I'll show you. And we're gonna try and get no waste. Still using that stem for stability. See? I even have the part of the top here, seeds are here, whites are there. Throw away, feed to your chickens, whatever. Then with bell peppers, a little trick I want to tell you is the skin on the bell pepper is really rough on your knife. It can dull your knife if you're cutting skin side up. So you're always going to put skin side down, flatten it out, and then if you want a nice julienne, you're going to rock your knife. So you see how I'm not doing this, or I'm not making that motion? That's because it dulls your knife. We're going to go in a little bit at the end. We'll talk about what knives to buy and how to sharpen them and what you should do. So it's a nice julienne. If you have a julienne, you can get a small dice. So put it back together, and then you're rocking your knife again. And this is a motion, it's muscle memory. So the more you practice, the better off you are. Also, I want you to notice, especially in a second when we do the celery, I want you to see how I'm holding my knife. So I'm right-handed, so I put my hand out, put it in here, hand here, so I have all 4 fingers underneath the handle. I turn, my thumb is here on the blade, and my knuckle, see where my knuckle is? It's right up against the blade. Like somebody, if Robert walked up to me and tried to steal my knife, he wouldn't be able to take it out of my hand. Better not. And then you don't want to put your finger here because this creates unstable motion. It also will make it so you're transferring all the power of your arm to your little finger. So you think, you're like, oh, I need my finger to press down harder. Use the power of your arm. That's why you do that rocking motion, so you can have more power. Okay. That's going to be a snack for later. And it's also Maddie's favorite vegetable. That's my dog. Okay. Moving on, we are going to do celery. So with celery, I see a lot of times people will try to do this and try to get into one straight line every time. So you never want to cut anything that's longer than your knife. So you see how that's longer than my knife? So I'm going to cut it in half so I can get it into an easier size cut and safer. So I'm going to do this, cut in half again. And then I don't even have to worry about doing that motion where I'm trying to get it into a straight line. So depending on how small you want, you can keep going. And then I just want you to watch the rocking motion that I do. So I'm gonna go slow. So you go forward, lift up, move over, forward, lift up, move over. And even though this is a small strip, I'm still doing a big motion. Have you ever cut a bell pepper or a cucumber, or green onions are the worst. Green onions always do this. But if you do little tiny motions, I don't even know if I can make myself do it. You get this. This is what I call pregnant chads. Don't do this. They all hang on together, and then you'll be like eating your soup, and then you have like a big string of celery hanging out your mouth. It's real cute. So don't do that. So that's why you do a big motion no matter the size of the product you're cutting. More wine, sorry. You always need wine too, because then you won't think about it as much. It's always going to taste good if you have some wine or some beer. Okay, we're going to do garlic, and then we'll do carrot. If we have time, we'll do cucumber. Okay, so we are going to do your garlic. I love to do garlic because it's a great way to get your aggression out after a long day at work. So you're going to put the knife blade down away from you, take a fist, not a palm, and you're going to smash. Get mad at it. After you get mad at it, sorry, the dogs are barking. They don't like that. See how easily the peel came off? And I'll do one more. And my hint for cooking, if it says 1 clove of garlic and you get a Hunkin' Dunkin' one like this, just use it and call it one. So, same thing, smash. Or if you're nervous to smash it with your hand, you can take a bowl, maybe not that aggressively, but it gets the paper right off, so you don't have to sit there and scrape at it with your fingers. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're just going to mince it. So I want it really small, otherwise it's gonna be, if you get a chunk of garlic, it can be spicy. So, I went through really nice. I'm gonna take my hand like this. This is what I call my Superman hand. So you go like this. I'm lifting my knife up and just moving the back of it to get those nice minces. And when I need to scrape, use my finger, turn my knife over, scrape into a nice pile, and then do it again. And this is the same that I do for parsley, cilantro, herbs and things like that to get a nice mince on it. I like to get it really nice and tiny, unless I'm making some kind of Creole sauce where I want the slices of garlic. There. And now you even have like perfume on for the next few days. But if you don't want that, you can rub your hands with lemon, or you can rub your hands against a stainless steel sink. Stainless steel will naturally get the, saw your finger, camera. That's Bobbert's finger in the camera. You can rub your hands against stainless steel and it gets the smell of fish and garlic and onions out of your hands. Okay, next we're gonna do carrot. I hate cutting carrots, I'm not gonna lie. I hate it. I always make Bobbert do it because they're hard and I'm clumsy. So first things first, I peeled it. I didn't do that on camera. Never cut longer than your knife. So I'm cutting in half. I'm gonna cut the rooty end off. Then it's really rolly, so this is dangerous. So you can either cut it in half and get it down, or if you want, you can go ahead and shave a little piece off, and then you have a little snack. But now it's not gonna roll on me. So if you wanna cut it in half, or if you wanna do slices, it's gonna be a lot easier than trying to do while it's rolling. I also like to do for stews and things, it's called an oblique cut. It's the laziest cut, which is why I like it. But you just go opposite. Super easy, but all kinds of things. And then you can also cut it into little cubes. So I just cut it in half, cut it into strips. Now that I have my strips, I can cut it into little dices. There you go. Nice cute little dices for a soup. Okay, we'll eat that later. Let's see, we'll go over actually instead of cutting more, because I know that it can be hard if you're not doing it yourself. If you're not doing it yourself, it can be hard to kind of grasp what I'm saying if I'm chopping. What I want to go over is how you should buy your knives. Everything says you should go out and buy the fanciest set, or on their wedding registry, they want to put the whole set of them. You can do that, but really the only knife that you need to put money into is a chef's knife. There are so many out there, and everybody has a different preference. This right here is a Wushof, so it's a German knife, so it's really heavy in the handle, which gives you more force. So it's great for people that maybe don't have as much mobility in their arms. because the handle is so heavy, it helps you get that force. The Japanese knives are a lot lighter, so like the globals, the shins, any of the Japanese steels, and they have a different angle on them, so they have to be sharpened a lot more. A lot of times when you get a knife, especially a nice knife, you are gonna get, it looks, I wish I had mine with me, I don't know where it went. It has a handle, and it's called a honing steel, and it just looks like a sword, but not sharp. And you're gonna take it, and they'll show you in the store, they'll have you run your blade along it several times. That's called honing. It feels sharper after you hone, because what you're doing is every time you have your knife going towards a sharp point, it is bending the metal back like this. So it's bending it and making it so it's not sharp. It's bending it so it's not sharp. So it's really good to hone, because what it does is when you hone, all the metal that's bent comes back together to make it feel sharpened. But every 6 months to a year, you do need to take it to somebody getting sharpened, or you can take a class on how to sharpen it yourself with a sharpening stone. I like to do it. I like to take it to somebody, because all knives have different angles, and you know, you might use yours a lot more than somebody else. So let a professional do it. There's a couple places here in town. There's Tony's Saw Shop. He's pretty great. He's a fast turnaround, and it's local. But I always say once or twice a year, take all your knives in and let them do that. And then what we'll do is we'll see if anybody has questions that I can answer. Robert, are you any questions? Anybody have questions? If you don't have questions, that's fine. We appreciate you watching our video. And what I'm going to do, since I know everyone's stuck at home trying to make stuff, I'm going to try and put more videos out this week. I have another video coming this week that I will post tomorrow. It is how to make the perfect grilled cheese. And so even though grilled cheese seems really simple, I guarantee you're going to love it.